I am. Oh, here we go.
Grok your arm.
Let it crawl back into the hashtag.
It's not a hashtag, it's a pound sign.
It's not hashtag. Hashtag on the Twitter machine. Hold on, boys. It's there on the Twitter machine.
And we are live here Tuesday night, November 18th. Your Geaux Team. We got Bob. Bob, how you doing on the other? Zombie Bob on the other side of the transatlantic cable tonight. How we doing tonight, Bob?
We're doing excellent. We OGs, just two.
The OG,
2, not 3.
The original 2 are here tonight. Chip's got a medical procedure in the morning. Shout out. Hope everything goes well for Chipper on the other side. But he's got to be up at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So taking the night off. But we got Zombie Bob filling in for Chipper tonight. Speaking of pounds and hashtags, okay?
I have no idea what's coming next.
I'm thinking this one up on the fly, man.
The unpredictability of the Geaux Team.
So remember when the Me Too movement was around?
Yeah, do I need to get the legal disclaimer ready?
What if the proper nomenclature was still a pound sign instead of hashtag?
It was. It's pound Me Too.
But
where's the legal disclaimer?
Wherever you put it, that you're listen. Was it G Moose? Who was it last night that said G Moose is already in the chat tonight? What's up, guys? Let's go.
G Moose, appreciate you, brother.
Who was it last night that said you were? What did they say about you? That you were a man of many talents, basically. I forget the word.
Something about a good multitasker, maybe.
Yeah, you were the stat guy last night and the legal team for the Geaux Team. But you don't have it. You don't really have it ready to go tonight, though, Bob.
Well, I didn't think I needed it if Chip wasn't here. Right before we started,
you weren't ready for Pound Me Too.
I was not ready for Pound Me Too. I was not ready, which kind of sort of sums up how some LSU fans are feeling today. Yeah, I woke up this morning, I texted you guys, and I'm like, does she really like me? Like, does she really want to go to prom with me, or is she just stringing me along? Like, am I going to get a bucket of blood dumped on top of me when I get announced as homecoming king? You know, I don't know.
At JJ saying, what are y'all talking about? We don't even know what we're talking about, except we're talking about hashtag Me Too. Zombie Bob, not a member of the movement, just a subscriber of the fun, should we say.
Okay.
But I actually feel the other way about Lane Kiffin today.
Confidence is high?
Confidence is high because do we want usually we bullshit for Timez. Do we just want to dive in now?
JJ's already asking, what the hell are you guys talking about?
Yeah, he says random shit.
There's nothing random about this, JJ. Just nothing random at all. It's all pre-scripted, according to plan, well thought out.
There's no way you have that many notes.
Here.
No way you have.
Oh, fucking A. I got my notes for tonight. I come prepared. I take this shit seriously. My shirts may not be serious, but my approach to this is serious.
All right, before we dive into Lane Kiffin, tell us about your shirt. Why are you the disco duck tonight?
Not the disco duck, but you know the old saying, and I, of course, am older than you. If it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. Like, you don't have to overthink it, right? But with Lane Kiffin is not a duck. Nobody knows. He's a wild card. He's Maverick and Goose all wrapped up into one. He's a wild card, and that makes him dangerous. I heard that about you. Maverick, you're dangerous. You like to fly alone. Nobody knows. Is he going to listen to Jimmy Sexton? Is he going to listen to Nick Saban? Is he going to listen to his family, whatever input they have? Or is he just going to roll the dice and do what nobody knows? So that's why I wore this shirt tonight.
He is the ultimate wild card. JJ wants to know, Zombie Bob, is that a signed helmet in the background? Who you got signed on that helmet?
JJ, I appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate the comments tonight. It is first and foremost the first Heisman Trophy winner, Hall of Fame, College Hall of Fame, Billy Cannon, and the second one, my all-time favorite LSU football player, national champion 2019, Braden Fajoko. So those are the two right behind me. And then JJ, I hope that you're a regular listener, but you see my third most prized LSU possession, pair of Crocs with the Croc Charmers on here. Crocs, day two sponsor of the Goat Team.
To get your own Croc Charms, tweet us at Go Team Pod and use the hashtag Chip is a Charmer. He's not here tonight, but hashtag him Chip is a Charmer. Not pound sign, it's a hashtag. No pound me too. Hashtag Chip is a Charmer. G Moose also said, you know who's going to close the deal?
Verge.
No, Whit Weeks. He's already closed the deal on one Kiffin. Can he close the deal on another one?
Well done, G Moose. Well, actually, that was some of my notes from last night when we went post production last night. I had three things down here.
JJ
Boom,
says he
boom, boom.
subscribed just for the duck.
JJ, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. I had Whit Weeks, Bryce Underwood, and the LSU Ole Miss 2022 game as three things that I wanted to touch base on tonight. Uh-oh.
Sorry, I was checking some audio stuff in the background.
Come on. All right, Dan. JJ, appreciate you subscribing. G Moose, appreciate you being back again tonight. And prayers up for Brother Chip. Hope all goes well. Endometriosis is not something to joke about, so we hope it all goes well.
No, what was it that you used to say Angry Capri had? Shout out Angry Capri if you're listening.
Shout out to Angry Capri. The motivation behind Dickie's Angry Capri. If you sweat and swear for a living, do so in your Angry Capris. Day one sponsor, Dickie's. Daniel, could you tell us what the inseam is on the
15-inch inseam. If
uh,
you like your shorts to hit you at the mid calf, they're just for you. Working man, if you sweat and swear for a living, do so in your Angry Capris. To get your own Angry Capris, tweet us at Go Team Pod using the hashtag I want my Angry Capris.
And if you use the other than getting your free pair, if you go to Dickies, use promo code the Go Team to get those Angry Capris for $14.50.
$14.50. But his hashtag is pound signed us. I want my Angry Capris. I forgot what I was going to say about Angry Capri now.
Oh shit, I don't know. Well, we had to do it. We had to do the ad read, so something about
is that what the Dolphins coach wears? Is that Aaron Glenn too? Aaron Glenn also wears the joggers. How do you feel about the joggers?
We were talking about the Oklahoma kicker last night, wearing the skies out, thighs out, Brother Chip special. So I don't know. What were you saying about Angry Capri? He's in the chat, or he sent you something. Lane Kiffin.
No, I forgot. Train of thought derailed. I don't have notes like you do.
Your notes, where are your notes?
Normally, I'm the guy with the notes on my phone that's keeping us on track, but it looks like it's the Zombie Bob show tonight. Usually I defer on. No, usually on Wednesdays I defer and let Zombie Bob run the extravaganza.
But sometimes on Wildcard Wednesdays, we've had some very prominent guests. We had Braden Fajoko. As I mentioned earlier, we have had several times Lon Phillips Sullivan of LSU Odyssey. We were lucky enough to have Carter Bryant of Power Hour. And of course, you can't forget Brothers of the Sacred Heart in Baton Rouge, Catholic High, Jace Lejeune of Gridiron Football, who we actually got to reach out to. That's something for me to do as the high school football season has wound down and the playoffs are heating up. We got to touch base with Jace as he's getting ready for the All-Star game at the end of December. So we'll have to schedule that one.
All right, fair enough. That is true. Got to reconnect there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out.
You off tonight, man. It's the shirt that's throwing you, right?
It's the shirts that's thrown, but usually you we're telling tall tales at this point, and that's where I'm usually checking the YouTube page, make sure everything looks good,
Okay.
checking the Twitter sphere, make sure everything's working good. So that's what I was just trying to do. But my Wi-Fi sucks tonight out here.
What's
So
up with that?
I don't know. Some nights it's good, some nights it's bad. I think it depends on if the wife is also streaming something at the same time.
Uh,
So she went to lay down before we got started. She's got the flu type B this week.
uh-oh.
Daughter had
Uh-oh.
it last week. She's got it bad down and out this week. Just in time for the big move next week.
Holidays.
No, let's
Yeah,
get it
and
all
both.
out of our system before we move next
Right.
week.
Well, leave it behind in that house. Don't take it to the new house.
Yeah, stick the
Yeah.
germs in the baseboards here, or
Right.
leave them here when we move, and then we'll pick up
Right.
all new germs when we move over there.
Right. So,
So
JJ, I don't know if you were watching last night. We were talking at the end. Daniel asked me a trick question if I knew who Kenzel Kelly was and if his parents would be at LSU senior night this weekend. Kenzel Kelly, of course, the
Kenzel or
linebacker.
Kenzel?
Oh, what I said, Denzel, Kenzel.
Yeah, I feel like if he was an African American male, it would be Kenzel. But being that he's a white guy and his dad's from Boston, I'm gonna go Kenzel.
All right. Can we just call him Kenny Z?
That works too.
Kenny Z. We'll just call him Kenny Z. Um, Poor kid. He's got senior night this weekend, Western Kentucky. Daniel is unable to attend the game this weekend. So, I mean, Daniel, you're raffling off your ticket. Somebody ought to hit us up in the, hashtag and ticket
One of
giveaway.
a true story, and Zombie Bob doesn't know this. He's over here bullshitting, trying to get me going here tonight, and he actually hit the nail on the head because a friend of the program, loyal listener, Gabagool Gabe,
Gabagool!
he hit me up last night and
Loyal
and
listener.
and again this morning. Like
It pays to listen.
I told him, give me till today to see if I have extra tickets. He
Uh-huh.
asked me last night. He hits me up again this morning at 8:20 a.m. I'm like,
Why'd you wait
dude,
so long?
I'm like, dude, it's been 12 hours. It's 8:20 in the
Dude, I
morning.
wake up to shit from you. Yeah, like you either retweeted something or you texted me, like 50 minutes before I even wake up. You're like
My
up and at 'em early.
Yeah, my most productive hour as a human being is 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, or really like 5:15 to 6:15 before the kids wake up. It's my get up early, drink my coffee.
Just a moment of zen, an hour of
Yeah.
zen.
You
Okay.
remember how Denny used to say, check the books?
Larry.
Yeah, you check your books. That's when you go take a
Right.
deuce.
Right.
Uh, so it's my time to drink coffee, check the books, catch up on some Twitter things. So that's usually when I'm catching up with all the things that Zombie has tagged me in on Twitter.
Right. Right.
So this morning, let's use that as a segue. All right, you woke up this morning feeling like, I don't know, does she love me? Does she love me not? In regards to Lane Kiffin, I
Right.
woke up this morning and if I felt like in the morning, I to be honest, in the morning, I was probably a little bit more like you, where I was like, if it's going to happen for LSU, it's got to happen fast. The longer this lingers, I think the more likely he is to stay at Ole Miss. And then somebody called me this morning and with some saucy sauces
Mhm.
and said that apparently he was meeting with Ole Miss today. He was entertaining their offer too. So he went to Florida on Sunday,
Sunday.
went to LSU. Well, he didn't. His family did.
And
Went
family
to
did,
Florida.
right.
Family comes to Baton Rouge. So last he was going to meet with Ole Miss today. So I heard that around like they were going to meet sometime around lunchtime. Then he goes on the Pat McAfee show. And then so I'm thinking to myself, if he's going on McAfee's show, it's a done deal. He's
Right.
staying. Like
Sign
there's
the contract extension.
yeah. And so
Right.
I'm watching it in my office. Um and at first I'm just thinking it's like theatrics. Like he's saying these things, but I'm just sitting there waiting for him to say at the end, I'm staying in Oxford because like
Right.
that's the moment. That's the theatrical moment. That's the biggest platform. What other shows? What's the biggest show on ESPN right now? Is it the Pat McAfee show?
I would imagine. I couldn't even
Like,
tell you.
if you're a college football coach, what is the biggest splash you could make? Game day or the McAfee show? It's got to be one of those two things, right?
It's got to be game day, right?
So if
Yeah,
it's one of those two things. And so I'm thinking, okay, he's just going to announce he's staying at that point. But then he doesn't. And then so then I really digest the whole thing. And he kept talking about in the interview, like, I just want to live in the moment. I just want to
right.
live in the moment. Like, these are the good times. Like, we're living the dream. We're living the good times. And so then the day goes on, and I'm like, if the motherfucker wanted to stay, what's preventing him from saying he's staying?
Right.
So where I went into it this morning thinking, okay, I like our chances. I really like our chances tonight, because all reports from Florida, LSU, Ole Miss is that it's not about money. It's just, it's
Well, the
just,
money's the same.
yeah, it's just
Right.
about where he wants to be.
Uh-huh.
And so if he wants to be at Ole Miss, why isn't he re-signing with Ole Miss? Because he could sign at any moment in time, and that
And
instantly
end it.
gives he ends it. It gives a boost to his team, to his fan base, to everything, and he
Right.
could end it all like that. So
Right.
clearly, like, yes, I do believe it's theatrical to a point, but we're past that point now. You know, it's kind of to the point of, okay, he clearly is interested in going other places. Does it just come down to Ole Miss doesn't he wants to leave, but Ole Miss doesn't want him to coach potential SEC
Well,
championship
right.
game. They don't want him to coach in the playoffs. So I personally think that's where we are. Maybe he goes to Florida. Maybe it's LSU. But I think in his mind, he's made the decision to move on. But the ultimatum, or whatever you want to call it, uh, Ole Miss
Not an
doesn't want,
ultimatum. Not
yeah,
an ultimatum.
Ole Miss does not want him to coach in the playoffs, because I get it to an extent. Like, it's going to be an
Sure.
embarrassment to their program. So I think he's just trying to have his cake and eat it too, trying to work
You
out a deal with both sides to be like, and he does have leverage on both sides. Let's say he's going to LSU. LSU, you got to wait. I'm coming, but you got to wait. I want to coach in the playoffs. And Ole Miss, I mean, do you want to win a national championship? Like, this might be your only shot at it. And maybe he sells it to them. This is your only shot at it. I want to coach in the playoffs.
Well, they have the one from 1960.
62.
Was it 62? I thought it was 1960.
In the modern era. I think their last SEC championship was 1962. You might be right. But what do you think about that thought process, Zombie?
Well, you took I don't know if I said it out loud or you just were reading my mind, but you took the words right out of my mouth with everybody wants their cake and wants to eat it too. Like, it's human nature, but he wants to leave. I'm assuming, everyone's assuming, he wants to leave Ole Miss. Otherwise, he would have already signed a contract extension when he first got it. 4 weeks ago. He would have signed today on Pat's show in front of a national audience and such. Um, but he hasn't. So, but he also has built something at Ole Miss that no one else prior to him has built, and he wants to see it through because he's not coached for a national championship previously. So I think he wants to leave, otherwise he would have signed, but he wants to see this through. But there's no way Ole Miss can let him do that. Even though last night I said, okay, yeah, if part of me agrees or could see a way that Ole Miss would let him, like, okay, you can accomplish this at Ole Miss. He's going on. Who's next to take this? Just like Les Miles, who can come in and maintain this level after Nick Saban won at LSU and got the ship righted after Donardo and Curly Holman back in the '90s. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think it sucks because the college football calendar sucks. And that's
Yes.
what's really put him in this predicament where, okay, he is at, although it's an SEC school, it's an SEC tier 2 school. It's not a tier 1 SEC school. So
No.
his stock will never be higher than it is right now. And he's a guy who grew up, his dad's Monty Kiffin, one of the greatest legends in the history of coaching.
Mhm.
Um, And so he's always dreamed about coaching at a big school like that. He obviously the Tennessee stuff, he moved on, then he failed at USC. And ever since then, he's been trying to rehab his image, trying to get back to that level, OC at Alabama.
Right?
It's not the same as being the head coach.
No.
Then going to Florida Atlantic, Ole Miss. The natural progression for him is to get back to that top tier, get back to a blue blood school, whether it's Florida, whether it's LSU. But it's the unfortunate thing about all this is the way the schedule works now is it's really unfair to him that, let's say he's done everything right. He should be able to coach his team through this playoff run and then make the jump after the season. But because of the calendar, it doesn't benefit Ole Miss for him to do that.
Right. Do you
You
think
know,
because of that, do you think not necessarily Lane in particular? Oh shit. I went crazy right there. I don't
looked
know
like
what
your
happened
phone
to
just
my
dropped out of
it
the
did.
sky there. You hanging it by a string there, zombie?
No, I got a gimbal, but I don't know what happened to that. I'm properly charged. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Not because of Lane Kiffin, but because, like you're saying, the calendar. The signing date in December, the transfer portals are early, and then there's only one. But now we have a 12-team playoff, currently a 12-team playoff that's going to play. When's the championship game? Like January 12th,
Shit, I
13th?
looked this up. No, it's like the 15th or the 16th.
Yeah, so like the middle of January. So then if you need a head coach, do you have to wait all the way to then? And I think Verge has already said we'll burn and we'll lose our signing class and transfer portal to get the right coach if we have to wait that long. But then now you're not talking about two top teams or programs that may need a coach, or four, like when Brian Kelly left Notre Dame, although they did not get into the playoffs that year. But now you have 12 coaches, and maybe 4, 5, 6 years from now, you have 16 coaches or programs that are in these playoffs as college football becomes, the second professional, football league. But maybe they change it. But yeah, he's up against the clock. But Ole Miss is up against the clock. Like the longer this plays out, the worse for Ole Miss. Not LSU, not Florida, because the only one that has really signed so far is James Franklin with Virginia Tech. So nobody's going to go anywhere until LSU falls, or is that the next domino that falls? Oh, Lane Kiffin, I guess, is makes the decision. So whether it's Ole Miss, LSU, Florida, that has to fall before anybody else goes anywhere or signs anywhere.
Yeah, so the interesting thing is why did James Franklin sign?
Because there was no way he was going to Ole Miss, Florida, or LSU.
There's
He
no
couldn't.
way he was
He,
going.
he
Let's say
couldn't win
Lane
at Penn
goes to
State.
LSU. Let's say Lane goes to LSU. Let's say John Summerall goes to Florida. He wouldn't get Auburn,
I'd love for him to get Ole Miss.
Ole
Franklin.
Miss. One of
Yeah, fuck
those.
him. Fuck him.
Now
He ain't winning.
I do think I'm sending a friend of ours, friend of the program. They're having technical difficulties. Um I do think he could have gotten a better job than Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech wanted him.
No, they should be thrilled with him. And look, he'll be there 3, 4 years or whatever. Then he'll rehabilitate and he'll go on somewhere bigger.
I mean, Virginia Tech was a big program at one point in time.
Oh no, sure. 20 years ago.
That, as G Moose said, that's a good hire for Virginia
Oh
Tech.
no, I agree.
Easy chance in the
Yeah,
ACC over the SEC.
sure.
Um,
Because if you can't win at Penn State and then you go to the SEC and it's harder, top to bottom, and then you don't win there, where are you going? You have to do the reset. You have to go to a Virginia Tech type place and reset. Because Franklin's young. He's only 50. He's the same age as Kiffin.
is he only 50?
I'm almost positive.
I feel like he's been around forever though.
Yeah, he's been around not winning.
I
Born in
was looking
1972. He's 53.
a little bit older than
Okay.
Kiffin.
A little bit, but a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting how all the dominoes are falling into place quicker. Um, I think you're
Well,
gonna
you
know about.
gotta.
I think you're gonna know about Lane Kiffin by what, Friday? Is he gonna announce on College Game Day? That's the other. If he stays at Ole Miss, I think it's gonna be where he announces on some big show or something.
Well, if I was Ole Miss, I would be like, "Ain't no way you're going on any big thing and signing anything other than an extension to sign to stay here."
Yeah, he's not
Uh,
gonna go on game day and pull LeBron James with the decision
no,
and say he's
no.
going to LSU.
I would hope that he wouldn't.
Yeah.
If he's matured, if he's putting all that younger behavior behind him and regrets the younger foolish behavior. But that being said, he was flirting to fuck with Auburn in 2022.
But he did so after the season.
But he has said like, "Ooh, I didn't really handle that all that well."
Yeah, and their AD said something. Ross Del, you're the one who sent me the Ross Dellinger article about that. Highly recommend that because it gave some insight with what Dellinger apparently was at Ole Miss last week interviewing their AD and Lane Kiffin. And he said last week that Dellinger could tell that Kiffin was unsure about his future,
Uh-huh.
about where he really wants to be. And that the Ole Miss AD basically said they feel good about it. They learned some lessons about what happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago
Right. Yeah.
when
With Auburn.
with Auburn, and so they feel better position. But look where we are. That was a week ago. Look where we are now.
Right. Well, right.
Oh,
It got
Lon missed your story. Lon's in the chat. Lon, zombie. What on earth are you
not
wearing?
like
Looks
a
like a
hey line.
with a shower curtain.
Line, yeah, the camera adds 400 pounds, so I won't take I won't take it as zombie's so fat that he has to wear a shower curtain for a shirt. But
I think it looks very
Lon,
slimming, zombie. Very
oh, thank
slimming.
you, thank you. Lon, I was saying earlier, the old adage: if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. But Lane Kiffin is not a duck because nobody knows what the hell he's going to do, whether it's Ole Miss, Florida, LSU, you know, the CFL, the New York Giants, the New York Yankees. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Zombie, I want you to read this next name here.
How much long? Oh,
I'm
where is my legal
going to go ahead
disclaimer,
and
man?
say that Buster Hyman is not your actual name.
Busta.
But Buster in the chat says, how much longer will Sark be at Texas?
Well, Busta, I mean, we were talking about that today in pre-production. Desmond Howard yesterday was doing a little walk around, musing on video that he posted on the Twitter machine. He said, "What happens if Sark's not there at the end of the year in Austin?" That's all right. If LSU's the top three program in the country, what's Texas?
Well, we did this episode last week, Zombie. Did you catch that one where it was just me and Chip? We talked the top 25 coaching jobs in
I
college
was in the
football.
super chat, but I mean, I wasn't getting a lot of love in the super chat. So,
We could tell you'd had a few in the super chat that night.
what night was that?
Thursday night? Yeah, because we didn't preview Arkansas. We just did top 25 coaching jobs.
I don't
Uh,
remember where it was on Thursday night.
but that one was one that I have you could argue Texas is one or two. I had Texas two, Ohio State one,
Man,
and
I'm having
then
trouble here. I got to
man,
plug in.
your camera's got a mind of its own. Man, we're getting the full 360 view of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Zombie Bob workspace.
Oh, here we go. Wait, I had to plug it in. Sorry. Like it's acting up on me tonight. But anyway, apologies, folks. G Moose, Gabagool, Lon, Angry Capri. JJ's in tonight. Busta. That's all I'm going to say is Busta, not the whole thing. But, you know,
Clearly his real name. Clearly.
clearly. Sauces. So I apologize for that.
Buster also said Giga Maggies.
Okay.
We won't hold it against you, Buster.
But then, right, the whole Texas has got to be top two, top three. But if the lane domino falls, and therefore Ole Miss opens up, and LSU's got to pivot, Florida's got to pivot, or Ole Miss. Two out of the three have to pivot after that, and then you'll start trickling down from there. But anything after LSU and Florida, what's the next biggest program that's open?
Well, okay, so what if Sark leaves? What if Kiffin knows something we don't all know? Although it's been
Well,
reported twice now by
who's Sark's agent?
they they work. I'm assuming Jimmy Sexton. They work together multiple times. It's all part of that same coaching tree.
Well, I love him, I hate him. Governor Landry is like, it's the fucking agents that are doing all this kind of stuff and that are
So
pulling all this stuff.
so if Sark leaves, maybe Kiffin's just waiting and biding his time for Texas. What do you think about that,
Yeah,
Zombie?
I'd prefer Lane Kiffin not be at Texas.
I'd prefer him at Florida.
I'd prefer him at Ole Miss or Florida. Let's see. I'm trying to find.
Lon says he was not referring to your weight, Bob.
No, I didn't take it that way. I was joking.
But
Agent.
so let's anything else we want to close on, because nothing else really happened today with Lane Kiffin. Anything else we want to talk about when it comes to Lane Kiffin?
Yeah, everything.
Well,
You
we
can't.
have Kenny Dillingham in the subject here too.
No, you have Kenny Dillingham in the
You've got
subject
him
here.
in your notes, Bob.
How
Tell me you
how
don't have
old
him in
is Dummy? Daniel, that guy's on TV again. Um, how old is Kenny Dillingham?
I do. Buster wants to know: do you don't think Texas has Sark on the hot seat? No, I think that Sark might want to abandon ship if he's got to put up with another year of Arch Manning, and he might want to get out of town while his stock is still high before it goes down.
This one went back. I can't figure it. Won't this? I'm pissing me off. I can't figure out. Is it Jimmy Sexton? Is he the agent for?
All you got to do is Google.
I'm
If only you had a
trying.
handheld
I'm trying.
supercomputer, Bob.
No, my handheld is up here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tabs open.
Steve Sarkeesian
Agent.
agent. Same. Yeah, Jimmy Sexton.
Jimmy Sexton.
Yeah.
It came up as Jimmy S, right? When you
Well,
Googled it?
well, it said his CAA sports.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see it. Oh, Rocky Hart. Rocky. Hey, call into the show, Rocky. 1-800-555-GO. We'll take you live on there. So we appreciate that. Rocky in St. Rose.
Rocky, for those of y'all listening tonight for the first time or listening recently, me and Zombie did this podcast back in 2018. Before YouTube, before anything else, what did we do? Once a week, we just did podcasts. Put it out on an app, put it out on iTunes,
Yes.
Spotify, just the basic stuff. Rocky and St. Rose legit is our first ever call in listener.
Right.
Called into the show multiple times, though, right?
Oh, every week. But we just couldn't get to him all the time.
No, but
Yeah,
he
so like
actually made it on the show once. 2019 Alabama.
No, well, he 2019, but one time when I was across the Atlantic, he called in and we were actually able to take his call live on the air. And then because he's very involved in what he does for a living, we welcomed him in, long time, first time. Thanks for calling the show. Love to have you on. And he's like, oh, great, guys. I love y'all. Y'all the best. Oh, wait, I'm getting a call. Hold on 1 second.
I forgot about that.
And then we're sitting there. I'm like, did that son of a bitch hang up on it? Did he put us on hold? We had dead air. We had to cut him loose. Some harsh feelings, but yeah, it all worked out in the end.
For our original 10 listeners, that was our first stupid bit that we did long before Angry Capris, long before Crotch Arms. It was having Rocky and St. Rose come on the line.
We had the Broccoli Boys. produce company in St. Rose as a direct sponsor that came out of that. We also, I mean, Skittles. I got to write that down.
Taste the rainbow.
Skittles,
Taste the
taste the
rainbow.
rainbow. We got to get back to Skittles to see a day 4 sponsor. So
How old is Kenny Dillingham?
35. Oh, gee, moves
Gee.
for the money. Hmm.
So, how do you feel
It's a
about
young
Kenny
man's
Dillingham?
game. It's a young man's game. It's a young man's game.
Mike Pot of Gold, friend of ours,
Shout
uh,
out.
he used that in a tweet today. Football's a young man's game.
Thanks for listening. Often imitated, never duplicated. Thanks
Well,
for
it's not
listening
that
to the
we're
go.
stealing that too. We're stealing
No, the
that
old
from
man.
our
My
old.
dad said that. Your
Yeah,
dad said that. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure he originated that saying.
Yes, football is a young man's game. The idea of bringing in, I don't know if I've wrapped my head around the fact that the next LSU head coach could be younger than me.
The old man always said he didn't feel old until he was older than all the college football players. Then he didn't feel old until he was older than all the NFL players. And then he didn't feel old until he was older than the president of the United States.
What game was I? I was watching Sean Payton, the Broncos and the Chiefs, and they brought in Mercedes Lewis, tight end, for the Broncos,
Okay.
and they brought him in. And they said he's the oldest player in the NFL, 41 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Cujos.
And so that was the moment I'm like, damn, all these fucking
Right?
guys are younger than me now.
So next
Except
season
maybe,
next season he's gonna be out and you're gonna be older than all the NFL players, Daniel. You
or
getting
maybe
old,
he's the
man.
oldest tight end or something like that. Because I think Aaron Rodgers is older than him.
Okay.
It was like him and Aaron Rodgers.
Well, the oldest fourth string, is he Caucasian?
No.
Oh, well, he's higher than fourth string. I mean, if the playoffs are on the line, Sean Payton's going triple reverse to the third string white tight end. You know, that's slow as
No,
fuck.
they got
And
Troutman. He's got Troutman on the roster.
he's got
Correct.
Troutman. He's got big nut sluts. He's got a few of them.
Our boy Lion Up LeBlanc in the chat tonight. Hey
Line
there,
up.
gentlemen. River Bell Classic week in Hammond, America. Southeastern Lions versus Nichols, the Colonels, Gabagool Gabe's team. Um,
Oh,
in the trophy, the River Bell Trophy, I'm assuming, to close out the season. I saw did Southeastern play last week? I know they lost the week before, but did they play 2 days ago? Bob, you got your handheld supercomputer ready to go for that?
no, I went to the thing. Line up. Do you know the song? It's called the Hammond song by a female trio called the Roaches, Rocks, Roches. Actually, my son told me about this trio. So that's a song about Hammond, Louisiana, from back in the day.
It's not Hammond, Louisiana. It's Hammond, America.
Well, Hammond, America. So, but anyway, yeah. No, line up.
They beat Incarnate Word this past week.
Okay.
Line
That
up.
was awesome. Line up. All right, let's go back to Lane. All right, there's an excellent.
Are we
that's where
moving on to
most.
Kenny Dillingham?
No. We're going to talk about.
You're
Well,
not done
two
waxing
things.
poetically about Lane yet?
Lane's listening to his
The Geaux Team.
mentor.
He's listening to
Well,
the
the
Geaux
Go
Team.
Team. I mean, tell me he's not. He's listening to Nick Saban, who I believe is saying, "You can pass me up if you go to LSU and stay at LSU for the next 15 years."
Yeah.
Okay. He's also listening to his agent, Jimmy Sexton, who wants him to go, which I was shocked. Daniel shared this with me because you got it from official LSU spokesman Matt Moscona
Yeah,
that
Moscona said it. Yes.
Jimmy Sexton has not represented an LSU football head coach since Nick Saban, which I was kind of surprised, being that Jimmy Sexton and CAA is as big as they are. But he wants both of them want him to go to LSU.
Why does
Sexton,
Sexton want him to go to LSU?
what else did the old man always say? Always follow the money. Who was BK's agent?
Trace
The same
Armstrong.
the same agent that quarterback Garrett Nussmeier has. So if you have in today's world of NIL, and again, in a way, I feel bad for Brian Kelly because even though he wasn't truly committed, it seems in retrospect, college football landscape changed drastically from when he first showed up in 2021 to um no, not 2021, 2022, but to this, to this season and whatnot. But if you have the head coach as your client, as an agent in today's world, you have better access to that roster, both as college players for NIL and as they go on into the NFL, because who the hell produces college football players and NFL football players? The state of Louisiana. And that's my segue. This is a shout out to Chris Mahler at LouisianaSports.net. He did all these numbers, but it's fascinating. We always say like Louisiana produces athletes, not necessarily offensive linemen all the time, but they produce athletes. LSU, signs them because they're the biggest school in the state. They're really the only school in the state as compared to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, Auburn, everybody that's down in Florida. And this is what I think sways it in LSU's favor is you're not competing against anybody. You have all these kids that grow up wanting to play for LSU because there's no other game in town and Louisiana produces. So let me just run some of this, and this is all directly from Chris Mahler's article today.
Gabagool
Lane,
Gave says Chris is a Bama fan. Don't trust him.
okay. Lane Kiffin and his since he's gotten to Ole Miss in 2020, he's put 23 players into the NFL. Ole Miss put 23 players in the NFL in the 10 years prior to that. So the decade 2010 to 2020. Louisiana in 2025, they have 102 NFL players from the state of Louisiana, which is the sixth most. I'm sure I didn't find this, it wasn't in Chris's article, but I'm sure per capita, LSU, I mean, not LSU, but Louisiana probably produces more NFL players than anyone else. That same time period, 2025, NFL players from the state of Mississippi, it's not even in the top 10. Louisiana had 12 on three top 300 players. Mississippi only had 7. LSU, keep saying LSU. Louisiana was the sixth most. Since 2020, Louisiana has had 44 more blue chip high school football players than Mississippi in the last 5 years. 44 more. LSU landed 47.1% of those. And that's like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty good. Half. That's actually down because Brian Kelly sucked ass at recruiting. For the period 2015 to 2020, Louisiana, uh, with all those blue chips, LSU was landing 64% of those in the 5 years before Kelly got here. So it's currently like essentially 50%, but historically it's higher because these kids grow up, they want to play at LSU. It's the only game in town at that level. 2015 2015 forward, Louisiana had 16 5 stars, 16 5 stars, 14 committed to LSU. In 2020, Lane Kiffin got to Ole Miss. He is 23 for 73 for blue chips. That's a 31.5% batting average. So he is fantastic at coaching, at developing, at getting the kids into the transfer portal. Mississippi doesn't produce the players that Louisiana does. And maybe Florida's higher than Louisiana with producing them, but you have Miami and Florida State and Florida and everybody else, all the other little schools there, UCF, and whatnot. Like so, like they're there, but everybody's grabbing them. And like Saban said, lock up the state of Louisiana, put the fence up, keep them home, and they're there. LSU has averaged for the last 7 recruiting cycles, their class was rated 7th, 7.4 overall ranking. Mississippi, Ole Miss at that point, same period of time, is 21st. So like we go back to it, and before all this bubbled up with Lane Kiffin, we were saying here on the program, and we appreciate you subscribing, we appreciate you listening, we appreciate all the interactions, the chats and everything. We truly appreciate it. But we've been saying like football is a young man's game, and we're going to be fine the GOAT before he really was the GOAT. Nick Saban won here. Les Miles, shout out Les Miles, Smacker, give me a
Got it.
call. And then the crazy Cajun won here. Brian Kelly should have won here if he was motivated and committed, but he turned out he wasn't. He just wasn't. He should have. He could have if he had a defensive coordinator and an offensive coordinator at the same time, and then he would have won. LSU is going to be fine because of the statistics that Chris laid out here. We can win, and I think Ogeron and Les Miles are the example of that. The LSU head coach can win at LSU because of Louisiana, because of LSU. You don't need the perfect storm that Ole Miss needs with an elite coach and the transfer portal and all of these other factors coming together to get to where Lane Kiffin is right now. Ole Miss isn't going to get back to that. LSU's next coach, whoever it may be, they're going to have success because it's built in. And I think that that's what Saban is trying to say to Lane Kiffin. I think that that's what Jimmy Sexton is trying to say to Lane Kiffin.
All right. So do you want to spend $14 million on Lane Kiffin, or do you go the cheaper route? Because it's all the advantages are built in at LSU. Anybody can do it. So is it worth 14 million to go get Lane, or do you go somewhere else and go cheaper?
Well, we're going to sign Lane for 1450. Yeah, it's going to be 14.5, 14,500,000. It's got to be. It's written in the stars. These things write themselves. If you can get Lane Kiffin, regardless of what the governor of Louisiana said, you got to get Lane Kiffin and let him ride, and hope that he's here 12 to 15 years, and that we got 4, 5, 6 natties in that time. But going back to it, I think that we're fine, and you keep saying we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine, and we'll talk ourselves into whoever it is that ultimately is the head coach at LSU, because we're LSU. And like dumbass Brian Kelly said, y'all are spoiled. Today we're spoiled because Orgeron won here with the greatest team ever assembled offensively. Les Miles won here. You know, they weren't any better than Lane Kiffin. I mean, Brian Kelly had a better resume than all three of those combined when they were all announced as LSU head coaches. So we're going to be fine, and we're going to be great. It doesn't have to be the most elite coach that can come in here and win because of the state, because of the resources, because LSU's the only dog in town. That's my opinion. Sincerely, Zombie Bob.
Zombie Bob. I was reading some of the comments.
Okay. They're flaming me, or
nah, Kiff would do good here. Not my money. G Moose says, "Yep, we only had
37 players that are from the state of Louisiana. I think it
Yes,
might be a little bit higher, but it's not 60. I don't even think it's 50. I think that's right, but it's not.
nobody knew who the hell Saban was when he came here from Michigan State.
But G Moose, that's the whole thing. The ability to recruit the talent that is in Louisiana, and LSU's the only dog on the porch here in this state. That's why he was the little brother to Michigan at
Yeah,
Michigan State. And that fertile recruiting ground that churns out freaking college players and NFL players here in Louisiana, that's what drew him to LSU. And I think that
yes.
that's what he's saying to Lane Kiffin.
Les Miles wasn't proven either.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why Brian freaking Kelly, man. Everybody was excited. The winningest coach in college football, of course, he's going to win a natty here, and will be 4 for 4. The last 4 coaches here. But we're on the verge of hopefully You see what I did there? Hopefully signing Lane Kiffin, and if not, go get somebody that's fucking hungry as hell that realizes right. G Moose 100%.
When I listened to Moscona this morning, he did say, and take everything everybody says, not just Moscona says, with a grain of salt, but he said that there is very serious interest in Kelvin Shepard if Lane Kiffin doesn't work out.
And you see, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Like Lane. No, if Lane says no, and he stays at wherever he goes, if he goes to Texas, the Giants, Ole Miss, Florida, whatever, we're fine. Pivot. I love the idea, and we've talked about that weeks ago. The idea of, I mean, doesn't it feel like Brian Kelly got fired like 10 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like that whole thing seems like so like you were saying earlier, your missus is not feeling well. I said to mine, like, all right, peace out. I'm headed in. And she said, what are you doing? I said, I'm podcasting. She's like, you podcasted last night, and last night and tonight aren't Wednesday nights. I'm like, Lane Kiffin. She's like, has he signed? I'm like, he hasn't not signed. He hasn't said no. Like, this is critical shit here. And whatnot. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
It was about,
You
I
said
don't remember.
Moscona. I don't
Moscona.
know.
Oh, Kelvin Shepard.
Oh, Kevin Shepard. But we talked about this weeks ago. Like the landscape has changed. Like the NIL has changed. Oh, I love the comments that Kirby Smart said. You want to get a paycheck? You can get a paycheck, but you got to pound the fuck out of the guy in the phone booth to get it. And if you don't want to be here, go somewhere where they're not nearly as physical as we are. And I'm going to put that team on my schedule, and I want to play you. Calvin Shepard motivates NFL multimillionaires as the defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He can talk to these kids today. He can motivate these kids. He's been there. He's done that. He's worn the purple and gold. He's played in the NFL. He's coaching in the NFL at the highest levels. I would love for Calvin Shepard to come home. And we talked about it as well. We kind of sort of feel like, I mean, if it's Lane, it's Lane. But we don't need an LSU former player per se, but we need someone that understands the culture and what it means to be an LSU Tiger and the physicality that comes with that T Bob and Braden Fajoko and BT talked about when Tommy Moffitt was the strength and conditioning coordinator under those three national championship teams at LSU. But
And I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because
sure,
obviously I've said I want Kiffin. But isn't Kiffin the opposite of that physical coach that we're looking for?
we talked about great point, Daniel. We talked about that last night. A offensive genius, very creative, quarterback guru and all that. Like, but is he going to be? Are his defenses that physical, or is his defense going to be? An LSU defense, or is the offense going to be so good? Not the Brian Kelly defense with Matt House, but can we get back to that? But again, if we have this homecoming of sorts, and it's Lane Kiffin, and it's Coach Frank with whom he has history, and Ed O, and Corey Raymond, and then enough of all of this, I think that there's enough out there that, like, yeah, we need that.
Billy Ray says, if I was Kiffin, I would not come when you have a governor involved. If something went south with Kiffin, we would have another Brian Kelly again. I'm assuming meaning if Kiffin lost a couple games that they would run him out of town because that's what Colin Cowherd said today is why would you want to come to LSU if you're Lane Kiffin because they just ran out Brian Kelly out of town and if you're Lane Kiffin and you lose a couple games, then they're going to run you out of town too. Brian Kelly was here for
I'm
4 years and never competed for a national championship. Never sniffed it, and they gave him
no
every possible resource. And the
resource,
guy
one
and
hundred
the guy
percent
was busy playing golf and being a part-time coach.
right.
That's why Brian Kelly got run out of here.
Well, his offensive line. I mean, look at his offensive line
Yeah,
at
me and Reed
LSU.
were talking about that.
Read it.
On Sunday because I was packing up the mini storage for last
Sure.
time. I was talking to Reed and Reed, I know you're listening on Spotify right now. One of our Super 7 on Spotify. Uh, but anyway, we were saying that there were concerns about Brian Kelly when he got the job, but the way that this went down here was not the concerns that you had bringing Brian Kelly in. Who would have thought the O-line guru would have the worst O-lines in the history of the school? You know.
And we bring in Bauer Doll as a tight end. I'll start running
Yeah.
coaches out of town with the way. No, 100%, G Moose. 100%. And that's why I don't like Drinkowitz. Drinkowitz said, you could still have a good season and not make the 12 team playoff because was it Marcus Spears said that? I think it was Marcus Spears said that that Sunday morning before Brian Kelly got fired that afternoon. Fired, not yet terminated, whatever. But he said that Marcus Spears says, you're not one of two programs playing for the national championship. You're not one of four programs in the playoffs looking to play for a national championship. He couldn't make a 12-team playoff, and that's inexcusable. But then here's Drinkowitz, who I don't want, just because he simply said, you can still have a good season. All we can hope for is a good game. Yeah, that's fine if you're saying hello to visiting fans or whatever. But we're spoiled, and we're LSU, and it shouldn't just be that. You should be, and it was it Verge that said that? Somebody with LSU said that. You should be in the playoffs every single year, period, full stop. Whether it's 12, whether it's 20, whether it's 6, LSU should be in that.
Well, and it's a lot like the new college football playoffs is going to be a lot like LSU baseball in the College World Series. I mean, going into the season, yes, the expectation is to make it, but circumstances happen in a given season. If you lose your starting pitcher, going into the super regionals and you don't make it to the College World Series, it's understandable. So, like, let's say Garrett Nussmeier's playing well and he gets hurt and you don't make
In
the
the SEC
playoffs.
championship game, and then you bow out the first round. That's fine.
It's fine,
That's it's part of the game.
but we haven't sniffed it.
No,
Last year, all you had to do was beat USC or Florida, and you would have been in. If you'd have beaten Florida last year, you'd have been in the SEC championship game. And if you're in the SEC championship game, you had a way to play your way into the playoffs. And you
right,
couldn't beat a bad Florida team.
right,
You got
right.
out physicaled by an average USC team.
You got
And
out
that,
physical by Vanderbilt this year, and
yeah.
that's inexcusable. No offense to Vanderbilt, more power to you. You're not one of the top 4 programs in the country.
Is there lineup LeBlanc? Is there any talk about the probability that the visit yesterday was nothing more than Kiffin's son touring the campus, deciding where he's going to go to college? He not sure how old he is, but he's been in the
He's a
discussion.
sophomore.
He's a sophomore. And he wasn't on according to Moscona, none of Lane Kiffin's kids were
Correct.
here yesterday. It was Lane Kiffin's ex-wife, who he's now
Layla
seeing again, and then his sister-in-law, because his brother
is on staff at Ole
is
Miss.
on staff at Ole Miss. So it was his sister-in-law, his ex-wife, and then his sister-in-law's kids, his brother's kids. Those were the two kids there.
They were the fill-ins, the fakes.
Yes, the fake kids.
The decoys. Okay.
Correct.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, but Lane Kiffin's son has been here on a couple of visits already. So I don't
he's
think
been
they
here
came.
and he saw us against Alabama.
Yeah. So I don't think that was all. I think that was the fact-finding mission for if Layla wants to be happy here or could be happy here, that kind of thing. I don't think it's simply a recruiting visit, on the down low or whatever. I mean, nobody comes in on Tuesday during the school week.
And then I was listening to
Monday, sorry.
Cole Kubelik and Greg McElroy host a show, and they had Moscona on as well. Been listening to too much. I've been listening to too much shit, but they asked about because Layla Kiffin went to Florida, and her father was a coach or a quarterback at Florida.
Quarterback John Reeves.
Yes. And so will that play a factor? And they all agreed I mean, it plays somewhat of a factor, but not a deciding factor. Like you said at the beginning, when Saban and your agent are pushing you to go to LSU, and it's just he naturally fits at LSU. Like Frank Wilson's already here holding the recruiting class together. Frank coached under Kiffin. And then you could bring in Ed Orgeron, and you hit the ground running. Austin Thomas is the GM here. There's so much already built in
that just
here.
Makes sense.
Yes, it's such an easier just
even
get
the
up and
structure
go.
taken away, putting aside all the stats that Michael had. Was it Michael that had said? I rattled off. No,
Chris Marler, Bama fan.
but Bama fan, but
Vern Funquist on Twitter.
Okay, but putting all that aside, all those statistics, the structure that you have in place, the people that you already have in place that you've already worked with and know and have hired and battled, other opponents with. So it makes too much sense. But again, we have purple and gold blood. We have purple and gold glasses. Um, so all right.
Uh, Kenny
Pretend
Dillingham.
it. Well, we're gonna get to him in a second because if he comes, he's bringing the
You're like,
quarterback.
you're just brushing him out. You're just
No, we're gonna because
sweeping.
it's still Lane. That's why I'm podcasting. We're talking about Lane. Um,
Yeah, but
Lane
you can
Kiffin's
use
the
all
head
your bullets.
coach.
You can use all your bullets for tomorrow too.
We're gonna have more bullets for tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
This shit just keeps its drama, just churn, churn, churn. Um, if Lane Kiffin's the head coach, Whit Weeks comes back, he runs it back, he doesn't play another down this year, and he and is it Landry? Is the daughter, Kiffin's
Yes.
daughter? Whit Weeks and Landry Kiffin become the next Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens and LSU royalty. If it's not Dillingham and the quarterback that he brings over, does Bryce Underwood transfer down from Michigan to Ole Miss to play under and develop under Lane Kiffin?
I've already planted my flag on that before the season. When we were talking about the LSU quarterback situation, who's the starting quarterback in 2026? It was me, Chip, Nathan. Were you on that podcast, Zombie, that night? We were
Probably not.
talking about how I didn't think that Van Buren was the quarterback for next year. I thought we'd go back into the portal. We'd have more money available in the salary cap. Like right now, are you going to pay Van Buren based on his performance $3 million to come back next year? I don't
He's
think
not
you
worth
are.
three. He's not worth
Exactly.
three.
So I think you're going to be able to go out and get somebody. And so Chip said, Nathan said before the season, DJ Lagway. Chip said, or no. Yeah. No, Chip said Walker Howard.
No.
Nathan said DJ Lagway, or might have, I think, whatever. But I said Bryce Underwood before the season, that Bryce
Uh,
Underwood was going to be a 1 year guy at Michigan.
in Michigan.
Their quarterback play, their offense was going to struggle. Not because of him, not because of his talent, just because that's Michigan's offense.
Yeah, right.
And so far this
How's
year,
JJ McCarthy doing with the Minnesota Vikings?
doesn't he stink?
Yeah, Derek Carr is going to be the quarterback next year in Minnesota.
But
He plant that flag.
Bryce Underwood has 7 touchdown passes, and he started every game. If for a guy who wants to be the number 1 pick in the draft, you can't stay there, man. You can't stay there.
How many does Arch have?
More than that, Arch has had
Well,
multiple games against the shitty teams where he's had 3 touchdowns in a game.
yeah. How much is Levitt? All right, let's segue to Dillingham from Arizona State, the 35-year-old whiz kid.
7
Offensive
touchdowns
coordinator.
with 6 picks.
Nice. That's a nice ratio, 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Thank you
That's
for
something
that.
he's putting
G
up
Moose
Jarrett
should
Lee
be
stats.
our fact finder. He's faster at it than I
Yeah, we're
am.
looking for intern positions. Maybe we'll
Intern.
apply for. Did you? Pot of Gold had a different intern on tonight. They had somebody
There's
else
somebody
working.
else behind the glass.
Yeah, Grant wasn't there.
Wow.
Maybe we'll have to
Anybody
recruit
we
Grant
know?
over here. I didn't realize they were on tonight, so I only caught like the last 10 minutes,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I didn't hear him introduce the guy.
Okay. All right. Dillingham. Levitt. Is it Levitt? Is that the quarterback?
Grant getting whacked.
Well, actually, it's funny. You were listening to the end of Pot of Gold. I was watching the latest episode of the Tulsa King, so that plays well
The
with
Tiger King.
no Tulsa King,
I
Sylvester
don't know what that
Stallone.
is.
Ah, it's fucking awesome.
What is it? It's a TV show.
It's on Paramount Plus. I mean, guy my age. Of course, I grew up watching Sylvester Stallone and everything. Um, Yeah, he's a mafia guy. He did 25 years. He did the right thing. He didn't rat. He gets exiled from New York. They put him out in Tulsa in the middle of nowhere. And then he's like, all right, well, I'll start earning out here. And so he sets up shop in Tulsa, and he's the Tulsa King. And it's season 3, I believe, just started. So
You got to remember, I don't watch any TV in my house unless it's Paw Patrol.
is Bob the Builder still a thing?
No, but I used that reference on you the other day because I knew that's what your son watched.
Bear in the Big Blue House?
It's all still there. It's just what
Uh-huh.
streaming device
What
it's
spot,
on.
right?
But
Bear in the
we're
Big
we're
Blue House was good.
what were they? I don't. They were watching some show I'd never even heard of today.
Gilligan's
Block
Island?
numbers or something, but they know what it is. And I'm like, when
Right.
do y'all watch this?
Right.
Um, I'm convinced that's what they watch at school.
I see. Okay.
Or maybe the other little 5-year-olds are telling them about that stuff at school.
Could be. Could be. Could be. All right, Dillingham. The floor is yours. Go.
Well, I think we're getting Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
But all of a sudden, Tiger Droppings today is just inundated. Tiger Droppings moved on from Lane Kiffin and it became the Kenny Dillingham board today. And I was like, where the fuck did all this stuff come from? Um, and then you mentioned them too, right? So I don't know where the
Well,
steam's coming from. Where's the smoke coming from on this? So there's
uh,
something.
there's something, but good friend of the program, my hero. I've got a picture of him up here, autographed. Braden Fajoko put it out there, and he's like, "You better get used to Dillingham and Levitt, the quarterback from Arizona State," and actually tweeted like, I'm not taking any fake accounts, but shoot me a DM, and I'll bet you, like,
Did
Lane
any
Kiffin is not going to be your head coach at LSU.
do we know anybody who took him up on any bets? So Zombie Bob,
This
you
guy
took
right
up
here.
Braden Fajoka. You put your money where your mouth is. So Braden challenged anybody who was willing to, DM him
Bet.
and bet
He
anything.
bet one guy on Twitter $10,000. He's like, I'll
Did
bet
the
you
guy
ten
take the
thousand
bait?
dollars. I don't think so.
It wouldn't be a bad move by that guy to take the bet and just ghost him. If
Braden will find your ass.
but he delete your account. All right,
Well,
so we have a legitimate program here, but let's just say I were to have a burner Twitter account. Let's just say it.
for
Hashtag
for
burner.
pretend, yeah, for pretensies,
I'm
right?
just saying hypotheticals here.
Hypotheticals,
If we had a burner Twitter account, then we could make a $10,000 bet
put
with
a
them.
bet, right?
If we win, we collect the $10,000. If we lose, then we just delete the Twitter account and move on, right?
Right,
It's not
right.
a bad play by that guy.
So
I'm just
Braden
saying.
hit me back. I said, "This is what I'm putting up. What do you want in return?" He set the terms, and so we have a bet, laying a bust, and I look at it either way. Can't lose. Can't
Yeah.
lose. It's a
So
win-win for me.
when Kiffin is announced or announces that he stays at Ole Miss or announces he goes to Florida, will we announce the terms then?
Sure.
Let's
I'll tell
wait.
you right now if you want.
It's up to you. The floor is yours, zombie.
I had mentioned to Braden previously when he was on the podcast in early mid September, and that I'm very big into Mardi Gras here in New Orleans, birthplace of Mardi Gras, and I ride in the crew
Biloxi?
of no. I ride in the crew of Endymion, amongst others.
Mobile.
And I said to him, hey, if you're ever interested, I got a spot, an extra spot, a corporate spot. And so the bet is if Lane Kiffin is announced as the LSU head coach, Braden's going to come in and ride Endymion with me uh, this, in 2026. So
There you go.
freaking awesome. Absolutely. I mean,
Zombie
like,
Bob. Wheeling and
Braden
dealing
Funko.
over here.
Braden Funko. Well, but that's the whole thing. Oh, and let's go back to Jimmy Sexton. Life is a game of Monopoly. That's all it is. It's a wheeling and dealing, trading. I'll take off a little bit of this because I want that, but I'll make it advantageous for you or whatever. What if Jimmy Sexton? This is just pretensies. This is hypotheticals. What if, so if Lane Kiffin's going to get 14.5 from LSU to come here, but Jen, I'm not saying that this is his motivation, but if Jimmy Sexton wants to be the representative of the LSU head coach to get to the talent that is on the LSU roster from the state of Louisiana and beyond, and it's there at LSU and NIL age, and then into the NFL, how much does an agent make off of a coach, off of a client? 10%, 5%, 3%. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
What if it, for easy math, let's say it's 10%. And I'm saying this is just hypothetical. I'm not accusing anyone of anything like that. But what if Jimmy Sexton's like, go to LSU? I'll make up my money on the back end. I'll cut my percentage from 10% to 7%. And then you get that extra money. You're making more money off of the 14.5 because I'm gonna make it on the back end. I mean, how much is fucking Jimmy Sexton worth anyway? Um, you know, but we'll see. After
It says
Lane
anywhere
Kiffin,
from 10 to 20%.
really that high?
Yeah. I heard the percentages on players are higher too. Because a lot of
I've
these
heard
players
that.
because a lot
I've
of these
heard that.
players are stupid and getting taken advantage.
Right.
Stupid isn't the right word. They're ignorant to the business and
Correct.
how the business operates. And so they get fleeced basically.
Right.
So
Let's do Jimmy. All right. If it's not Lane, I want somebody under the age of somewhere else 42, 43. I want somebody under 45.
okay.
As of 2024, Jimmy Sexton's net worth is estimated to be around 31 million.
That's it.
I was kind of thinking, I didn't want to say that out loud.
So let's say
He's
he
older
makes
than I am.
10% of how? Does he just not represent that many coaches?
I thought he had all the big ones.
Like 10%, like Saban was making 10 million. That's a million right there.
Well, but then how big is it? Does he own CAA or is he just
Yeah, and
a
then
member?
what about all the shit? I don't know, that doesn't make sense.
Well, but you got to pay everybody. I mean, he's getting all that, but he's got his overhead and all of that.
It still doesn't seem right. I need some more reliable sources on that.
This is playersbio.com. G Moose, hit us up. Let us know what Jimmy Sexton's net worth is. Is it actually 31 million or is it more than that?
Before we head out tonight, make
Sure.
sure if you're listening to us, maybe the first time, last few nights we've had some more a little bit higher volume than normal, which we
We
welcome
appreciate that.
everybody to the show. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be back. We're here pretty much every weeknight, 9 o'clock Central Standard
What you
Time,
know.
witching hour for us. So make sure
Right.
you like, subscribe if you're watching us on X, follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, like the video on either or. So,
All right. So
uh,
tomorrow night, may depending on how the news breaks and everything. Obviously, if something comes out, if
G Moose
Dillingham had
says
proper, go ahead.
if Dillingham had proper NIL, I think he would do great at Arizona State. NIL is horseshit there. And he was doing an interview today begging local businesses and places to put players in commercials and stuff like that. I saw that interview. He was
That
saying
was
every local restaurant should have like a
right.
menu item for,
A player, right?
oh, what would your menu item be for Bauer Sharp, zombie?
What is the most?
Repulsive?
You see, I'm not a French onion soup kind of guy, but like something plain, something I would never touch, nothing that you would really order on the regular, like something like a French onion soup would be power sharp. Like it's below, fried eggplant sticks or below fried artichoke hearts or onion rings or I mean, he's even below. I don't eat. Obviously, I'm wearing a shower curtain. He he. I don't eat sweet potato fries, but it's he's more dull than
Sweet
sweet
potato
potato
fry? No, sweet
fries.
potato fries are good.
Fuck that shit, man. You don't
Dude,
get to
he's
wear
like,
shower curtains by eating fucking sweet potato fries. You
you
hear
know
me?
what he is? It's you go into a po' boy place and he is just a bag of Ruffles potato chips.
He's not even that. He's not
Rocky
even
Mountain
name brand.
oysters.
No, he's not even name brand. Like he's just like a knockoff of a knockoff of a knockoff. I'm sorry, Bauer Shop did just yeah. Oh, I think he just fumbled.
Liver and onions.
Right, liver and onions.
That's what
You
it
know
is.
who liked the liver and onions? Old Hatchet Face.
This, the fact that you just referred to what was that, your great grandmother?
No, my grandmother, the old man's first mother-in-law.
The fact that
You
you
said
just referred to your grandmother, not my grandmother, as
my
old
grandmother.
hatchet face on a
That's what the
podcast.
old man called her. Who's listening? Uncle Roy in fucking Baltimore?
I
No,
mean, listen, I'm not related to that side of the family, so you're not
I
offending me
understand.
by any means. But the fact that you just dropped it on the internet and it's out there in the
Hey,
ether forever now.
Angry Capri knows that that's what the old man used to call it, old hatchet face. Yeah, he can tell his side of the family that. What they're gonna do? Disown me?
But and I think on that note, we're gonna wrap it up tonight because we're gonna be back tomorrow night. I
We
got an
ought to
idea.
open up. We ought to open up an axe throwing place. Are those still popular? And we just call it Old Hatchet Face.
And
And then with
put her
Daniel, this is
face.
fucking genius. G Moose, get in on this. We need an investor. All right. An axe throwing place. You set your online, you book your alley or whatever the fuck you call it, and everything. Send over a picture of your mother-in-law, your ex-wife, or whatever. We'll print it up. Bam! It goes on the thing. Full hatchet face. There's money to be made. But
That is a
yeah,
good name.
you could do Brian Kelly.
And you could also name the food court at the front Stevie B's Pizza.
There's already a Stevie B's Pizza in the Florida panhandle. We don't want. Where's the legal? It's my
No,
fault.
it's an original idea. It's an original idea.
Chip wasn't going to be here. I didn't think I needed.
It doesn't have to be good. It's just got to be cheap. It doesn't have to be good. It's just got to be cheap.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in, commenting, like, and subscribe. Daniel, this was a lot of fun. Let's do it again tomorrow night.
I'll see you tomorrow night. And good night, Mrs. Calabash.
Wherever you
Wherever you are.
Backer, I still love